first and foremost, motherfuck BLM. That's right, the Black Lives Matter movement. Fuck that organization. And fuck anybody that support that bullshit. This country was celebrating the life and legacy of one of our greatest heroes, one of our most valuable ancestors, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. In attempting to show support for Martin Luther King Day, Black Lives Matter decides on their page, on their Instagram page, to show a video entitled "Twerk on Washington," where they got a so-called sister. She is unworthy to be called a sister in my book. And no, I will not be showing images of that video on my platform. They got this sister in a red, white, and blue Daisy Duke shorts, twerking, and not only at the Washington Monument, but also at the Martin Luther King Memorial Building. And why I'm heated at this, man, and why I'm advocating for every single so-called black person out there to stay away from that movement as much as possible. Because they are proving to you time and time again that they do not appreciate you, that they are not for you, and that they will continue to disrespect and diminish the legacy of our own brothers just for their own sole benefit and purpose. I'm gonna go down each and every sentence of what they said, and I'm gonna make points on each and every last sentence, and to describe to you why we no longer need to rock with them. And yeah, it's up there. It's up there. First sentence they say, "Twerk on Washington is a declaration of freedom and healing." For who? Are we diminishing the valuable messages of Martin Luther King for 60 years later to just twerk? I mean, if we want to get comical with it, if you go look at the Boondocks episode where they had Martin Luther King on there, he definitely was displeased with the way his people were behaving and acting.
Is this it? This is what I got all those ass whoopings. But lo and behold, some 4 decades later, what have I found but a bunch of trifling, shiftless, good-for-nothing niggas?
On Luther King's Day, they did not do this kind of nonsense on a public platform. You did not see women out there behaving in this manner and then try to excuse it as freedom. Black Lives Matter is selling you so-called black people a damn lie by saying twerking is an expression of freedom. Many of you sisters out there that think that all you could do is just twerk, take them pictures of your asses, have your breasts halfway out, and only thing you advocating is for hit my Cash App or my OnlyFans page. But yet when y'all go on platforms like Kevin Samuels, you want to get angry and upset when he's being brutally honest about your relationship potential or your relationship status out here. Knock it off. That bullshit displayed in that video had nothing to do with freedom of expression. It was an ignorant female doing ignorant shit in a ghetto-fied manner, while disrespecting one of our greatest heroes in the process, led by a movement that's not even funded by you so-called black people. Once again, you letting these white liberals take over your movement, take over your platforms, and then disguise it as if they're helping in the aid. So what happened to so if we're talking about freedom of expression and freedom, all those hundreds of millions of dollars that Black Lives Matter were able to fundraise throughout the summer, where's that money going to the so-called black community at? Oh, I know. It went towards the election of Joe Biden and his cronies. But we don't want to talk about that because we too busy wanting to twerk for freedom. Listen, you can twerk and do whatever you want on your own page, your own platform. But don't you dare disrespect the ancestors in doing so and then trying to disguise it as freedom of expression. I call it despicable horse shit. Oh, this is funny. Advocating for the decolonization and over-sexualization of black women's bodies to reclaim an ancient sacred dances of liberation and wellness. So you're allowing Black Lives Matter to take what they deem as ancient ritual African dances, disguising it as twerking, and making that seem as though those are some ancient dances that was rooted to uplift and liberate women. Man, even a lot of black women know that's pure bullshit. Let's look at the word twerking. First and foremost, twerking isn't even an African traditional dance. They never called it that in ancient Kemet. They never called it that in South Africa. The Zulus never practiced that. Twerking is something that was originated in Louisiana. Matter of fact, Cash Money, when they first came out as the Hot Boys, Manny Fresh and them, that's a New Orleans type of dancing. And when they used to use the word twerk, it was not for no freedom or liberation. They was definitely sexualizing themselves. But that was the style of dancing they did back in those days in Louisiana. Females are over-sexualizing themselves. Females are colonizing themselves with the use of this over-sexualization of their bodies. Many women out here today believe that they can get nowhere in life without sexualizing themselves to get the attention of men, particularly black men. And you want to tell me that this is freedom? You want to tell me that this is worthy of women to classify themselves as? Many women that have respect and dignity for themselves get overlooked because of the vast array of women looking to over-sexualize themselves and thinking that in the end they're going to get a good quality man. As Kevin Samuel said, you will die alone. And for Black Lives Matter to even put this in a form of traditional dances, ask them 3 sisters who started Black Lives Matter did they even go to Africa. And I guarantee you, you're not going to find those type of dances over there in the motherland, not in the manner in which our women out here be twerking. These women that be out here twerking and shaking it and making it work like a dog and all that, no, they doing it to show you that they don't give 2 damns about what you think and they don't mind sexualizing themselves. Why? Because they think unfortunately, many women out here believe that the only thing of value they have is their sexuality. And we're trying to use this to mirror the image of what Martin Luther King professed when he did the I Have a Dream speech. You're making a mockery of what our ancestors stood for and what he spoke about during the I Have a Dream speech in Washington, D.C. in 1963. And then BLM makes this notion that this freedom of expression and liberation comes directly from the I Have a Dream speech. Martin Luther King, when he made that speech, the premise of that program or that speech was geared towards our people getting jobs and freedom. That young lady that was twerking in DC, she wasn't doing it to get no job. She already had a job. BLM paid her to be out there to do that shit and to make us look foolish in the long run. What kind of freedom was she denied by doing that? Looks like to me she was twerking freely with no worries whatsoever. So for you people out here that's continuing to support Black Lives Matter, while at the same time displaying their utter contempt and hatred for the black man, if you continue to support that and you're a so-called black person, that goes to show you don't care about black people, and you don't care especially about your men. Because what was in their mission statement? To destroy the nuclear family structure. And when you destroy the nuclear family structure, who's the main proponent of that destruction that you're trying to wipe off the map? It's the man. And so Black Lives Matter trying to use this bullshit notion that twerking is a freedom of expression given to us by the speeches and the sayings of Martin Luther King, further go to show you that they would even disrespect our greatest just to push their agenda of full trans and feminism domination. And it has to stop. That's why I ain't rocking with it. And once again, fuck it. And finally, this is what part of this little first paragraph really pissed me off. Shame tradition of African practices is not ours. Trauma is in the body, so shake it off. Dancing is an African tradition. Dancing has certain forms of spiritual practicalities in it. And dancing is healing for the body and the soul. But this version of what we're trying to associate twerking with African tradition is absolutely false. The Americanized version of women twerking has nothing to do with African traditional dances whatsoever. In fact, if you ask many of these women that do this twerking, many of them won't even identify themselves as African. So why are you allowing a neoliberal group that is funded by liberal races, that the vast majority of its members are liberals, who don't even look like you, who don't even share your identity as far as your culture, tell you what the hell African tradition practices are? Us in the black community know that twerking ain't got nothing to do with no freedom and no liberation. Twerkers like this, shouty get on that flow, she hear her song, see she gon' shake that thing, she shaking that monkey, dude looking at her, he getting aroused by it, or another female looking at her, she wants to be, she wants to join in the act and she's getting aroused by it. You tell me what the hell is freedom and liberation in that is even put into the equation. Black Lives Matter, you would not steal the pride and joy of Martin Luther King Day by projecting this image that the only thing good black women afford is for twerking and dancing in a sexual manner, and then trying to disguise it as freedom of liberation or freedom of expression. Martin Luther King once said he feared that he may have led his people into a burning integrated house. And that bullshit video is the example of what Martin Luther King was talking about. You don't care for Martin Luther King. Your organization does not have the best interests of our people at heart. In fact, the only time we ever hear from you is from a killing of a so-called black man by a white officer. Those of us who actually do this community work that has the best interests of our people at heart, we know what went down when y'all tried to come to Inglewood last summer and y'all got ran off because the people wasn't tolerating your nonsense. And now on your comment section on your post, the vast majority of people are angry and they are embarrassed. And they just like me, they are pissed. Over-sexualization of our women is through y'all bullshit system. In fact, two of your main compadres actually support this twerking shit. Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. You know why? In conclusion, it's up there. Oh yes, it's up there. And as far as Black Lives Matter, stay the hell out of black people's business. I don't care if 3 lesbian black women founded that group. Obviously it was taken over by white liberals who don't have the best interests of our people at heart. If they did, that 100 million that they collected from the murder and the pain of our people, they would have gave at least half of it to us. But don't you dare disrespect our ancestors and think you're gonna get away with this. And I hope this ruins your reputation, because you've never had a reputation that deserved to be praised and accepted in the first place. Y'all talk about these Trump supporters storming the Capitol building. Well, guess what? I was in Kenosha last summer, and you know what I saw? I saw chaos and destruction of property and violence directed at people who did nothing to you. Simply because you're trying to push an ideology on everyone and want everyone to be force-fed your bullshit ideology. You want to make this world devoid of men so you can have women and gays and trans on your side as if you all want to completely revolutionize the world. Without strong and powerful men like Martin Luther King, you wouldn't even be allowed to spread the bullshit propaganda that y'all out here displaying on an everyday basis. And for any sister that's out there twerking and thinking you twerking for Martin Luther King, motherfuck you as well. What you doing? You showing the world every day that not only don't you care about your so-called brother, you don't care about yourself. Because any dignified sister would look at that with humiliation and shame, and they would look at any sister that's trying to disregard the true legacy of Martin Luther King, and they would shut that down. Fuck the Black Lives Matter movement. Tell them I said it. And it's black power over here all day, every day, because we race first. And it's up there. As I told y'all 7 months before, you disrespect the ancestors, it's merch. Now tell them to twerk on that. Pussy motherfuckers. I'm out.